Wow. Episode number 10.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
10 episodes already.
10 whole episodes of deep diving into all sorts of fascinating stuff. Feels like we should be getting like honorary PhDs or something at this point.
Maybe not PhDs.
Right.
But I definitely wouldn't say no to like a celebratory deep dish pizza, for reaching this milestone.
Now you're speaking my language.
Right.
Though maybe not today's deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
What do you say we save the celebratory feast for a slightly less intense topic?
Agreed. Today's story is definitely more of a hold the anchovies kind of mood.
You're not kidding.
Yeah.
All right, folks, buckle up because today we're diving into a true crime case that's as chilling as a walk-in freezer.
Oh, yeah.
Without the pizza rolls.
Right.
We're talking about the disappearance of Tom and Jackie Hawks, a retired couple who vanished after selling their yacht, the Well-Deserved. You'd think retirement would involve less disappearing and more margaritas on the beach, right?
All right. You'd think so, yeah. And initially, that seemed to be the plan for the Hawks. They actually spent years meticulously planning and saving for their dream retirement. They lived pretty frugally so they could one day own a yacht and, sail off into the sunset.
But talk about commitment.
Yeah.
They scrimped and saved for years, all for the chance to trade rush hour traffic for ocean breezes. I can definitely respect that.
Absolutely. And their dedication paid off.
Yeah.
In 2002, they finally purchased the Well-Deserved, their ticket to a life of freedom and adventure.
So they're living the dream.
Yeah.
Sailing the coast, soaking up the sun. Then what happens?
Right.
How do we go from like margaritas on deck to missing persons report?
Well, a couple of years into their retirement, their world kind of shifted. One of their sons announced he was going to be a dad.
Oh, wow.
Meaning like grandparent duties were on the horizon.
The classic grandkids Trump yacht life scenario.
Yeah.
I could see how that would make you reconsider your coordinates.
Exactly. As much as they loved sailing, the pull of family was strong. So they decided to sell the Well-Deserved and move closer to their family and, of course, the future grandbaby.
Makes sense. So enter the DeLeons, a young couple who seemed eager to buy the yacht. Everything appeared to be smooth sailing, pun intended.
Pun intended, yeah.
The Hawks sons were expecting a call any day with the good news about the sale. But then, radio silence?
Yeah.
And not the peaceful kind you find out at sea.
That's right. The lack of contact wasn't just unusual, it was completely out of character for the Hawks, especially Tom. This was a man known for his organization and meticulousness. He always kept in touch with his family.
So, when the calls went unanswered, alarm bells started ringing. I bet those bells were louder than a foghorn in a library.
Especially for Tom's brother, Jim. Being a retired police chief, he had that, extra sense of intuition, that something's not right feeling. So Jim decides to check on the yacht himself.
Smart move. Especially when you've got retired police chief on your resume.
Yeah.
What did he find?
Well, Jim immediately noticed things were amiss. The Well-Deserved was usually shipshape,
Right.
But now it was in a state of disarray. Lines were hanging where they shouldn't be. Tarps were askew. It just felt off.
So not the usual a place for everything and everything in its place vibe that Tom was known for. That's definitely a red flag the size of a mainsail.
Absolutely. Jim even left a note on the boat asking the new owners to contact him, hoping for some kind of explanation. And that's when a call did come.
Bravo.
But not from who they were expecting.
Ooh, plot twist. Who was on the other end of the line?
It was Jennifer DeLeon, the wife of the yacht's buyer, Skylar.
Okay, so maybe not a plot twist just yet. But I'm sensing this is where things start to get interesting. What did Jennifer have to say?
She played the role of the concerned new owner, claiming they were having trouble figuring out some of the boat's controls and had found some of the Hawks' belongings. She seemed innocent enough, just trying to be helpful.
Right, but you know what they say? Too much butter and the toast burns.
Yeah.
And too much helpful can sometimes be a cover-up. Were there any other details that made Jim or the police suspicious?
Oh, absolutely. From the very beginning, there were inconsistencies in the DeLeon story. For example, Skylar described Tom as being anxious and paranoid during the sale, while the notary present, Kathleen Harris, said the Hawks seemed perfectly normal.
So already we've got some choppy waters.
Yeah.
Different versions of the same story, a missing couple, and a yacht that's suddenly looking more like a crime scene than a retirement vessel.
And it's about to get a whole lot stormier. Remember how I mentioned Tom's brother was a retired police chief?
Oh, yeah, Jim. I have a feeling his cop instincts were starting to tingle. What did he do?
Well, Jim wasted no time. He contacted his former colleagues at the Newport Beach Police Department. And, with the Hawks officially missing, a full-blown investigation was launched.
Okay, so we've got the professionals on the case now. I imagine things started moving pretty quickly once the police got involved.
They did. And remember that media bulletin the police put out? The one with the Hawks pictures and description of their SUV?
Oh, right, the one that was probably plastered on every bulletin board and milk carton in Southern California.
Yeah, those things are hard to miss.
For sure.
Well, it turned out to be a crucial piece of the puzzle because it led to a tip from an unexpected source. An older couple down in Mexico.
Mexico? Wait a minute. I thought the yacht was sold in Newport Beach. Why would the Hawks SUV be in Mexico?
That's what made this tip so significant. The couple reported seeing the Hawks SUV parked near their home in Baja, California. And this is where the DeLeon story started to unravel faster than a cheap sweater.
Because Skyler had claimed his last encounter with the Hawks was in Newport Beach, right? He said they drove off in their SUV after the sale.
Exactly. So finding the SUV in Mexico meant Skyler was lying, and not just about some minor detail. This was a major crack in his, carefully constructed facade. He had clearly been in possession of the Hawks SUV after they disappeared, which meant he knew more than he was letting on.
Okay, so the plot thickens. We've got a missing couple, a yacht with a suspicious vibe, a web of lies, and now an SUV that's magically teleported to Mexico. What did the police do with this new information?
They confronted Skyler, of course. And remember that confession about the money laundering?
Oh yeah, the whole I'm a reformed money launderer who just really loves sailing bit.
Right. That turned out to be a useful bargaining chip for the police. They used it as leverage, basically saying, we know you're not being entirely truthful. Cooperate with us on the Hawks' disappearance, and maybe we can work something out on the money laundering charges.
The classic good cop, bad cop, financial crimes cop routine.
Oh.
So did Skyler crack under the pressure? He just spill the beans?
Not exactly. He and Jennifer maintained their innocence, claiming they had nothing to do with the Hawks' disappearance. Jennifer's even went on talk shows, playing the role of the worried wife, desperate for her husband to be cleared of suspicion.
Talk about adding insult to injury. But the police weren't buying it, were they? They had to be digging deeper, looking for more concrete evidence.
Oh, they were definitely digging. They searched the DeLeon's house and found, a treasure trove of incriminating evidence. Laptops, video cameras, personal belongings that belonged to the Hawks. Things they would never have simply left behind.
So it was becoming pretty clear that the DeLeons were involved in something far more sinister than just a shady yacht sale. But were they talking? Did they confess?
Nope. They stuck to their story. But the police weren't giving up. They went back to the people who were present during that final sale, the notary, Kathleen Harris, and Skyler's friend, Alonzo Mason, who had acted as a witness.
Hoping they might remember something, some detail that could shed light on what really happened.
More than just a detail. They were hoping to expose the cracks in the DeLeon's fabricated story. And it worked. Kathleen, under intense questioning, finally broke down and admitted she'd never actually met Tom and Jackie.
Wait, what? So the whole notary thing was staged?
Mm-hmm.
Skyler had paid her to just sign the documents.
Exactly. It was all a sham orchestrated by Skyler to make the sale seem legitimate. And when the police brought Alonzo back in, confronted him with Kathleen's confession, the truth started to spill out.
Alonzo had been there, on the yacht, with the Hawks. He must have known what really happened. What did he say?
At first, he hesitated, clearly torn between loyalty to Skyler and the weight of what he knew. The police offered him a deal, a reduced sentence in exchange for the truth about the Hawks.
Oh, man. That's a tough spot to be in. What did Alonzo choose?
He chose the truth, and what he revealed was absolutely chilling. Alonzo described a calculated plan orchestrated by Skyler to not just defraud the Hawks, but to eliminate them entirely. He implicated himself, John Kennedy, another accomplice, and painted a horrifying picture of what happened on that fateful sea trial.
Okay, I think I need to brace myself for this one. What exactly did Alonzo reveal?
Well, you see, Skyler had been feeding Alonzo a whole lot of lies. Remember that former child star story?
Yeah, the Power Rangers alibi. I thought that was a bit far-fetched.
It was completely fabricated. According to Alonzo, Skyler had actually presented himself as an international assassin. He claimed to have a contract on Tom and Jackie, offering Alonzo $1 million to help him carry it out.
An assassin. $1 million. This is getting more and more unbelievable by the minute. But why? Why would Skyler want to kill the Hawks? Just for their money?
It's just mind-blowing to think that someone could be so calculated and heartless. We talk about the Hawks' meticulous planning for their retirement, but What's even more striking is the De Leon's meticulous planning of this horrific crime.
It really is. It's a chilling example of premeditation.
Right.
They didn't just stumble into this. They plotted and schemed, created elaborate lies, and manipulated everyone around them to get what they wanted.
Yeah, it's like something out of a movie. But this wasn't a Hollywood script. This was real life with real victors and devastating consequences.
And it's not just about the physical act of murder. The De Leons also stole the Hawks' identities, their financial security, and even their memories. That erasure, the recording over of their happy moments on that video camera, adds another layer of cruelty to this already horrific crime.
Right.
It makes you wonder, did the De Leons ever truly grasp the weight of their actions? Did they understand the profound impact this had, not just on the Hawks, but on their sons, their families, their entire community?
It's a question that haunts a lot of these true crime cases. Did they feel remorse? Or were they so consumed by their own greed and ambition that they simply didn't care? Unfortunately, we may never know the answers.
What we do know is that this case serves as a powerful reminder for all of us. It highlights the importance of awareness, intuition, and taking those gut feelings seriously.
Absolutely. Trusting your instincts can be a powerful tool, especially when dealing with people you don't know well. If something feels off, if someone's story doesn't quite add up, it's okay to be skeptical, to ask questions, and to walk away if necessary.
It's interesting because the Hawks, especially Tom, with his background as a probation officer, you'd think he'd be pretty good at reading people.
Yeah, he probably was. But even the most perceptive individuals can be fooled by skilled manipulators. And the De Leons were charming, they were persuasive, and they used those skills to disarm their victims and gain their trust.
It's a reminder that evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it wears a smile.
Precisely. And that's why awareness is so important. It's about being observant, paying attention to details, noticing inconsistencies, and trusting those internal alarm bells when they start ringing.
So what can we do as individuals to protect ourselves from falling prey to those who might want to exploit us?
Well, for one, we can educate ourselves about the different forms of deception and manipulation. There are resources available, books, articles, even podcasts that delve into the psychology of con artists and how they operate.
Right. Knowledge is power. Understanding the tactics used by these individuals can help us recognize the warning signs and avoid becoming victims.
And of course, communication is key. Talk to your friends and family, share your experiences, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you feel like something is wrong.
Yeah, it's about creating a network of support, a community where we can look out for one another and raise awareness about these issues.
Exactly. Because in the end, we're all in this together. And the more we understand about the darker side of human nature, the better equipped we'll be to protect ourselves and those we care about.
This has been a heavy topic, but incredibly important. The story of Tom and Jackie Hawks is a tragic reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can exist in the world. But it also highlights the importance of awareness, intuition, and community.
And it reminds us that even in the face of tragedy, there is hope. Hope that by sharing these stories and learning from them, we can prevent future tragedies and create a safer world for ourselves and future generations.
So, as always, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this case? What lessons have you learned from it? Share your insights in the comments, and let's continue the conversation.
And until next time, stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay safe.
Happy diving.